Have you ever looked into your partner's eyes, in a quiet moment when nothing else mattered, and felt something stir deep inside you that words could never fully explain? Maybe it happened late at night, when the house was silent and only the soft sound of breathing filled the room. Maybe it happened in the middle of an argument, when anger suddenly dissolved the moment your eyes truly met theirs. Or maybe it happened in a simple, ordinary second, while sharing tea, walking together, or sitting in silence after a long day, and suddenly you felt as if you were not just looking at a person, but looking into something far older than this lifetime. A quiet question may have risen gently from within you, almost too delicate to say out loud. Why does this soul feel so familiar? Why do I feel both peace and unrest, comfort and challenge, all at once, in the presence of this one person? Today, we are not going to speak about love the way movies and stories often do, with shallow promises and fleeting attraction. Instead, we are going to walk into something deeper, something the great yogis, mystics, and spiritual masters have quietly understood for centuries. They remind us that the eyes are not simply organs that allow us to see the physical world. The eyes are windows, sacred doorways into the soul itself. And what gently looks back at you through your partner's eyes may, in truth, be trying to awaken something within your own spirit, something your soul came into this life to discover, to heal, or to finally understand. So I invite you to stay with me, with an open heart and a quiet mind, because what we explore together today may gently change the way you see the person sitting beside you. Many people live entire lifetimes beside another person, sharing a home, a bed, a name, and yet they never truly see the soul resting beside them. We notice the color of their eyes on the very first date, we whisper a sweet compliment, and then, as days turn into years, we slowly forget to look at all. We become busy noticing what they did wrong, what they forgot to do, how they failed to meet our expectations, and somewhere in that busyness, the original wonder quietly fades away. This is the silent wound carried by so many relationships in this modern world. We come together through attraction, through chemistry, through the excitement of something new, but slowly, almost without noticing, we drift into disconnection, into distance, into a strange loneliness that exists even while lying beside someone every single night. We argue over forgotten chores, over harsh words spoken in tiredness, over small disappointments that pile up like dust in a forgotten room, and we rarely pause to ask the deeper, gentler question hiding beneath all of it. What is this soul truly reflecting back to me in this moment? Paramahansa Yogananda often reminded his students, with great tenderness, that the human body and all its features, even something as simple as the color of one's eyes, are merely the outer covering of something far more eternal, far more sacred. The real question, he would say, was never about outward appearance. It was never about what someone looks like on the surface. The real question was always this: what do I feel, deep within my own heart, when I truly stop and truly look at this person standing before me? That single shift in awareness, from looking outward to looking inward, is where every meaningful relationship quietly begins to heal. From a spiritual perspective, every soul carries within it a unique vibration, a subtle quality of energy shaped slowly over time by the experiences, struggles, and lessons it has lived through, much like flowing water is shaped and softened by the particular riverbed it has traveled across for many years. Some souls carry a warmth about them, gentle and inviting, like early morning sunlight falling softly upon still water. Other souls carry a quiet depth, calm yet mysterious, like an ocean whose bottom can never quite be seen. And some souls carry intensity, a kind of inner fire, sharp and unafraid, the kind that challenges everything it touches. In many spiritual traditions, the eyes have long been seen as a poetic mirror of this inner vibration, not as a rigid rule carved in stone, but as a gentle reflection of the soul's deeper state. Yogananda often taught that the eyes can reveal whether a person carries inner stillness or inner restlessness, whether they carry peace or quiet longing, and this revelation has very little to do with physical color, and everything to do with what that soul has truly lived through. There is also a simple truth here that modern psychology gently confirms as well. When we feel deeply seen by another person, truly seen, without judgment or pretense, our entire nervous system softens, our guard quietly lowers, and we begin to feel safe in their presence. We often call this feeling love. But from a spiritual lens, what we are actually experiencing in that moment is something deeper than romance. It is recognition. Not recognition of a face we find pleasing, but recognition of a frequency, a familiar energy that our own soul somehow remembers from somewhere beyond this single lifetime. Yogananda taught, with quiet certainty, that no relationship that enters our life is ever truly an accident. Every person who walks into our world, especially the one who becomes our partner, arrives carrying invisible threads connected to our own past patterns, our own unfinished lessons, our own soul's ongoing growth. This sacred law is what we call karma, and it is important to understand that karma is not punishment, as so many mistakenly believe. Karma is simply return. It is the soul meeting, again and again, exactly what it once set into motion, until true understanding is finally reached. So if you have ever quietly wondered, late at night, why do I keep attracting the same kind of pain in my relationships, again and again, in different faces, different names, different circumstances, the answer often lies here. Or if you have wondered why this particular person stirs something so old and so deep within you, something you cannot quite explain, it is often because your soul is not actually seeking comfort in that relationship. It is seeking completion. Some partners enter our life gently, to soothe old wounds and offer healing. Other partners arrive specifically to awaken us, to shake us out of comfortable sleep. And some partners come simply to mirror back the very wound within us that we have not yet had the courage to face and heal. The qualities we notice in their eyes, whether soft or sharp, whether warm or distant, often symbolize this deeper role they play in our soul's unfolding journey. Not literally, through pigment or color, but energetically, through the way their very presence makes us feel, whether safe, or challenged, or expanded, or painfully exposed to our own truth. Let me share with you a simple, relatable story to help illustrate this deeper truth. Imagine a woman named Meera, a sincere and gentle soul who fell deeply in love with a man whose presence felt like calm, still water. He was patient, steady, and unwavering, and in his presence, for the very first time in many years, she finally felt completely safe. But as time gently passed, she came to realize that peace alone was not what her soul most needed at that stage of her journey. Growth was what she truly needed. A few years later, life brought her another connection, a man whose presence felt sharp, intense, and unafraid to challenge her in ways that made her deeply uncomfortable. At first, she wanted to run from him, to retreat back into safety and familiarity. But in choosing to stay, in choosing to face the discomfort instead of avoiding it, she slowly healed a fear of confrontation she had quietly carried since her childhood. Neither man, we must understand, was right, and neither man was wrong. Each one perfectly mirrored exactly what her soul needed at that particular stage of its unfolding journey. This is often, in fact, exactly how it unfolds in real life, for so many of us. The partner who feels too calm, too steady, may actually be gently teaching you the art of true stillness. The partner who feels too intense, too challenging, may be teaching you deep courage you never knew you had. And the partner who feels distant or emotionally unavailable may, in truth, be teaching you self-worth that does not depend on their approval. The lesson, ultimately, is rarely found in their eyes themselves. It is found in how those eyes cause your own soul to respond, to react, and slowly, to grow. So how, then, do we walk this delicate path with grace, rather than with confusion, conflict, or repeated heartbreak? The first step is simple, yet profound. Stop searching for the so-called right eyes, the right appearance, the right outer qualities, and instead, begin searching for the right inner awareness. No external feature, no matter how beautiful, can ever replace true inner alignment between two souls. So ask yourself, gently, not what does this person look like, but who do I become when I am beside them? The second step involves patience in moments of conflict. When your partner stirs something painful within you, pause and breathe deeply before reacting from old wounds. Quietly ask yourself, is this truly about them, or is this an old wound from my own past simply rising back to the surface for healing? The third step is the gentle practice of seeing the soul rather than only the personality. The next time you sit quietly with your partner, look gently into their eyes, not to analyze or judge them, but simply to meet them, soul to soul. In that sacred silence, much hidden truth is often quietly revealed. The fourth step is releasing the constant need to win every emotional disagreement. Yogananda often taught that true love is never about proving who is right. It is about remaining lovingly present, even in the midst of disagreement. And finally, the fifth step is learning to feel grateful, even for the relationships that brought great difficulty or pain into your life. Every soul who has ever taught you something valuable, even through heartbreak and struggle, was, in their own quiet way, a sacred teacher sent for your growth. Here, now, is the deepest truth gently resting beneath everything we have explored together today. You are not actually searching for someone with a particular eye color, a particular personality, or a particular past. What your soul truly longs for is recognition, that sacred moment when another soul reflects back to you the very parts of yourself that are finally ready to awaken and grow. Paramahansa Yogananda taught, with great compassion, that true and lasting love is never about two incomplete people desperately trying to complete each other out of inner lack or emptiness. Rather, true love is about two whole souls slowly remembering, together, the wholeness that was always quietly within them from the very beginning. So the next time you find yourself looking gently into your partner's eyes, I invite you not to simply see their color, their shape, or their outer beauty. Instead, see a mirror, patiently reflecting your own soul's journey back to you. See a teacher, lovingly placed in your path for a sacred reason. And see, above all, a fellow traveler, walking gently beside you, on the very same eternal road that leads us all, eventually, back home to our true and divine nature. This recognition, once truly understood and felt within the heart, has the power to transform every relationship in your life, not into something to be controlled or possessed, but into something sacred to be honored, respected, and deeply cherished, for as long as that beautiful journey together quietly continues to unfold. So here is a gentle question I would like you to carry with you tonight, long after this video has ended. When you look into the eyes of the one you love, what is your soul truly seeing in that quiet moment? Is it peace? Is it challenge? Is it healing? Or is it a reflection of something within yourself that is finally ready to awaken? Sit with that question for a while. Do not rush to answer it. Let it breathe gently within your heart, the way truth always does when it is real. And if this video touched something quiet and meaningful within you today, I would be truly grateful if you would take a moment to write a comment below, sharing the color of your own partner's eyes, or someone you deeply love, and perhaps even a few words about what you feel when you truly look into them. Your reflections mean more to this community than you may realize, and they often help other sincere souls watching see their own relationships with new and gentle understanding. I would also love to know, from your heart, what subject you would like us to explore together in our next journey. Perhaps something about soulmates, perhaps something about karmic connections, or perhaps something about healing old wounds from past relationships. Simply write it down in the comments below, and let your voice gently guide where we walk next on this path together. And if you feel called to walk this spiritual journey with us more deeply, consider subscribing to this channel and sharing this message with someone whose heart may need to hear it today. Until we meet again in our next reflection together, may you continue to see and continue to be seen with patience, with understanding, and with love. Jai Guru Dev.